Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and the man in the know. You love him, you dream about him. Sometimes it's a little questionable. Ben Moore of 24/7 Sports and Panther Talk. Welcome, Ben.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Appreciate you having me.
Wait, when am I supposed to open my beer? Now?
Now I would assume.
You're muted again, David.
I'm
This
so
is gonna
glad
be a
he's
good
running
one.
on this show.
Yeah, no, still nothing.
What
Great.
happened? What's going on?
Man, thank God this is live.
I know. Listen, this is live entertainment, friends. This is what it's all about, right? So you say you want to do a live show.
We do. Every week.
Oh, boy. Tim, I think you're going to have to take over.
Yeah, Tim, let's talk, man. What do you want to talk about?
Tim, I threw the ball to you. You got to catch it.
And you got to shoot it.
Yeah. Tim, can you hear me?
All right, guys, can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly.
The AirPods are not working, and I don't know if Tim's on some kind of really weird delay or something, but
He's broken. Yeah, his internet broke. They were like, "We're cutting you off."
it sounds like it. There's too much awesomeness with Ben on here for the show to proceed. All right, let's get going, guys. Thanks, Ben, for joining.
Yeah, man.
Want to talk to you about a lot of stuff tonight, but first and foremost, let's talk about this the basketball tournament coming on. We had Devin on last week and talking about it was a lot of fun. Can you kind of give us some more info from kind of a fan perspective of what we should be looking for here with the tournament?
No doubt, and appreciate y'all having Dev on. I mean, he had a great time. We actually are catching up tomorrow to talk a little bit more basketball tournament and kind of media blitz and everything like that. We got a lot of great feedback from the State of Atlanta podcast. So appreciate you guys obviously throwing that out there, and the word obviously is continuing to spread. But of course, the basketball tournament last Thursday announced, hey, that PantherFamily has officially applied for inclusion of that, and Devin talked about that a little bit. Just talking about the application process, and they do look at things like social media reach, fan support. This is a made for television event, quite honestly, and they all the games will be on ESPN. So it's one of those scenarios where they want to know folks are on board and watching the guys that and we know and we love and got to know. And I kind of teased it on the message boards and have talked about it a little bit, and Devin mentioned it a little bit. Some of the guys have been picked up and named already. I know Eric Neal, DeMarcus Simons, Devin Mitchell, Malik Benlevy, Jordan Session, all have been announced, and there's going to be some more familiar names as they're coming out. Of course, Kevin Ware's on that team as well. Excited to see him in person, and the team. Devin and I have talked about it. They're going to be doing a 2-week training camp, getting ready for this, and PantherTalk will be the exclusive home for all your information there. Interviews with the guys, unveiling the coaches too. We have 2 coaches on board, which PantherFamily will know exactly who they are, and that should be pretty fun as well. So we're excited to see what the response is. My only kind of regret at this point is they're not sending us somewhere closer to Atlanta, but our guys are ready to play and excited about it. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the games are all in like Ohio or Midwest region, right?
Yeah, it is, and part of that, too, like I said, it's a made-for-television event. So you're going to have teams, from West Virginia, Marshall. They've done really, really well, quite honestly, in the NCAA with the Dayton. The first 4 has been in Dayton. That community has certainly done super well supporting NCAA basketball. So you're going to see teams from Ohio State. I know Jared Sullinger has a team there with former Ohio State guys. You got some guys there locally in the Midwest as well. So, but I can tell you, just from talking to the guys, they're looking to get in there, get ready. And the question that I kept getting asked is, hey, DeMarcus Simons is kind of giving up basketball. What kind of game shape is he in? And I talked to Devin the other day just about that, and he said he's been training with DeMarcus, and he said he's old DeMarcus. He's was training MMA style, so his cardio is there, and now it's just putting the basketball side of things back in it. But jump shot is there, his attacking is there, and he said it's it's really no different. So he's going to be working out with him on a steady basis, and I'm excited to see 15 back in a Panther uniform again. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure with he's training for MMA, his attacking is going to be a little bit more aggressive now, right?
a little bit, yeah. I tell you this much, he kind of played with that edge already, and was one of those guys that play with an edge. Knowing he's been getting punched and kicked in the face and trained to do that, just knowing that what he's going to see on the basketball court is not really going to affect him for sure.
Do they call fouls in the tournament at all, or can he get away with a little bit extra?
You never know, but no, they do have NCAA style rules there, and continuing to go and no, it's training camp, and it's kind of summer for the refs as well. So I mean, it's been professionally done. So we're excited about seeing those guys and getting everybody, and honestly releasing the team, man. Like, we honestly are waiting on one more guy to give us the official sign on. He's verbally agreed at this point, so we want to get the names out there and get everybody excited, because there's going to be 3 guys that did not play for Georgia State. We want to get those communities excited as well, and one of particular who will have some NCAA experience and is a name that folks will probably remember from his time in the Final Four. So that's enough of a teaser there. I can't officially say his name, but we're close. We're close with him. So
yeah, is your middle name Teaser? Are you Ben Teaser Morgs? I swear to God, man, you love teasing everybody.
He's got it. He's going to release it tomorrow on PantherTalk.
I promise you, it's one of those situations where, like, I had the release written and I threw it out there, and I had, full disclosure, like, we basically had the team ready to rock and roll. And then we had a situation where some folks got commitments or got accepted for position. We were ready to roll our head coach, man. I mean, that's the thing about it. Like, we were ready to roll every single piece of it. And then it was like, hit the brakes. It was like, hold on, this is not officially signed on for. And part of it too is, the guys have to cut their own videos, and a big part of it is the basketball tournament wants to promote these guys. They want to get folks out there. I mean, we've charted it as well. Guys like Damon Wilson, who have 123,000 followers on Instagram, which I had no idea. He's number 1 on Instagram. Kevin Ware, who was at one point over 150,000 on Twitter. He's now, slacked back a little bit, but I think, the former president and Michelle Obama still follow him on Twitter, which is pretty freaking cool.
So what do we need to do as fans, and what do the listeners need to do to help make this become a reality?
Yeah, the biggest thing, man, honestly, and Ryan and I are talking about tomorrow with Devin, just to, drop this fan support page. We're going to be able to do that. There's going to be opportunities, not only to basically declare your fanhood, but go out there as well and support this team. We know folks, can go on and if folks are familiar at all with the AAU process as well, there's a lot of times where AAU programs will go and work with the local community, get guys to sponsor players, sponsor teams, things like that. Certainly, promote those businesses, or just give to the team, promote a player, we'll go that way. So the costs are going to be small, but it's one of those scenarios too, because it's not local. Guys are going to need, potentially, a little bump there, here and there, and folks can show their support there. So we have a process set up for that, and we'll be unveiling it extremely soon. I know Ryan and I are working kind of on the final details of what what we're going to work there. But what we have been overwhelmed with certainly is not only the folks that are associated with the program wanting to jump in and be interested and help, but the local media. I was able to talk to guys, like Brandon Home Team Leak, of course, who was involved with the play-by-play team. Buck Lanford reached out to Fox 5 and shouted us out and said, "Hey, man, tell me how I need to help." So that's the cool part. Sam Crenshaw, of course, great friend of the program and certainly on the broadcast team for football and basketball, does a great job there with the ESPN Plus broadcast. So that's the fun part now, is seeing, okay, we're excited about this, and we want to get behind you. And that's really the next step is to represent the city, represent the school, certainly. But just being like Devin talked about, the only team from the state of Georgia that will be represented in the basketball tournament. I can tell you this much: since the team has been announced, there's a whole lot of folks up in Athens and even on North Avenue that are saying, "Hey, why can't we put a team together?" Well,
because you're not as good as us. You can't even beat us. Why do you think you could win a game in this professional tournament? Come on, that's the answer.
Oh, I know, but it's just fun. It's just funny because it's the copycat, right? It's
Right.
I love that Devin actually told you guys that they had actually thought about putting Tukey Brown in there too. That was tremendous. I didn't think he was going to slip that to y'all, but he tossed y'all a lot of y'all softball. That was so great.
Yeah, I selected to not remember that part of the conversation.
Yeah, so
I understand.
my question is, we have been kind of speaking in generalities about like what we can do to get our team qualified and stuff, but are there specific metrics they've released, or is it just sort of a generic, you got to do well on social media and, you figure out what that means?
They want a following, obviously. They want the information out there. It is. They do have some specific metrics. They don't necessarily share, with us. They just say, hey, look, be able to promote it, be able to go out there. The elements there. I mean, listen, there's people that can cut a check, for this whole team and sponsor it and go from there. So that's possible, and I think that's going to be fine. We're good there. We're anticipating everything will be well there. But just the biggest thing, obviously. Once we roll and once folks get behind us, which they have, being able to support on Instagram and likes and retweets and things like that, they do track that. Obviously we had the initial announcement kind of go crazy, which was great, which is what we wanted. What I love to see is former basketball guys and even current basketball guys getting excited about it. Even the football team jumping in there and getting excited about it. That's the level of power that I think we have, and certainly we know with the student base, and once folks actually see guys that they've seen or seen, they know on TV, playing in this thing, it only goes from there. So this team is hungry, man. It's a lot of fun. And as I, kind of mentioned before, the old VCU team, guy that I know really well, Matt Shelton, was a GM of the VCU squad. And, we sat down and grabbed lunch, and he said, look, man, like, you guys got enough pros that could make this thing work for Georgia State. And, you guys thought about doing it. And he said, we just kind of started wrapping around it. And, I think Ryan Green and Devin are probably the perfect guys, quite honestly, to kind of be that synergy between, the very front end of Ron Hunter's days and to now, kind of going into the Coach Lanier bunch. So, that's going to be the fun part. I know there's a lot of guys that wanted to play. I saw some back and forth with some former players as well to say, hey, why did my phone ring or anything like that? So there's plenty of guys obviously that could be chosen. So, we thought we got the best 10 this year, and we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, maybe this can become an annual tradition where, these guys finish up playing the program, Georgia State, and then they know that this is an opportunity to play for a chance for $1 million. If they're not able to make that next leap to the NBA or to another professional team. So, and you talk about, and like Devin talked about being the only Georgia team, we talk about, no one talks about media markets more than Georgia State and the city of Atlanta. Yeah. We got to put up there and say, look, this is it. We only team from Georgia. Anybody that's from the state, I do that. I watch stupid cooking shows all the time. And if someone's from Atlanta or Kennesaw or you're
rooting for them, right?
I always root for whoever,
totally.
The local person and everything. So that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys have any more questions about the tournament before we only have been for a few more minutes? I want to get on a couple other short topics.
No, I really wanted to nerd out and ask about metrics and stuff. So, that's all I got.
We'll do that offline, Ryan. I promise.
Yeah, I will say that I know they're watching because my retweet got liked by their Twitter account pretty fast. It did not take very long for them to like mine. So their social media team is definitely monitoring this stuff.
They're on it. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Tim, you got anything before we move on?
Let's go to the next topic. What do you got?
Ben Teaser Moore posted something on PantherTalk today that I wanted to get to because he actually mentioned coming on tonight. We know that the days of Becker are numbered. You got anything about what we can expect about finding out who the next president of Georgia State may be, and more importantly, their feelings on athletics?
Yeah, I don't know the latter. I don't, and that's I've still, been trying super hard to get a name out of it. I know interviews had continued to go. The initial conversation basically was, to wait until the chancellor, was done. And we know certainly the USG has kind of slowed that down a touch. I do know two candidates were interviewed last week. And there have been, I believe, a total of 6 that have been that have gone, including one internal candidate. So we're getting to the finish line here. From everything that I've been told, it's basically President Becker's going to ride on the sunset June 30th. He's done. And then July 1st there will be a new president at Georgia State, and they're not waiting necessarily on anybody from the Board of Regents or anything like that for a chance, or they're full steam ahead. So, in typical situations like this, from what I understand, they can call a special Board of Regents meeting and go ahead and approve this and have that appointment made. So you could see that. Doesn't have to necessarily be on the books, as we know folks in education tend to be by the book, and Board of Regents, things like that are scheduled. All their notes are public. So if we do have something, they will publicize that, and we could see a name squirt out. I do check very, very frequently on that when we start getting down the information, and certainly there's a whole lot of information where if you just know where to look, you can find it pretty quickly. So but I'm expecting some news, quite honestly, in the next few weeks, and we should know who the next Georgia State president is here probably I would say by the middle of the month.
You have to apologize. Ryan's laughter there. You hear the word squirt, and you just can't stop but giggle about it and everything. This is a huge hire.
Yeah,
this is a huge hire for Georgia State for where we are right now. It seems like obviously basketball has been doing fantastic the past several years, and football seems to finally be at that point to turn the corner. And a president who is pro or anti-sports could have a huge basis on what the next steps are for this program. So, I'm really interested to find out who they are. Do you know if any of the candidates that have been looked at have Georgia State or Atlanta connections?
I don't know that. I know there has been tremendous interest in the job. I do know that there were a tremendous amount of applicants for this position. Some that were basically assistant provosts and things like that nationally. And I think that's the interesting part about it. Ultimately, is once the president comes in, kind of identifies what's going on and what has gone. You have folks that want to put their stamp on things, and then there's also some that want to basically take a look, take a time to say, hey, what has been going on, what has worked, what needs to be improved, and things like that. We know certainly the amount of construction and growth the university has had in the last 4, 5, 6 years under President Becker, and I'm interested to see the charge, and it may also be one of those situations too where we may not know who this person is. We may just be able to see the resume and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense, or they may be ready, or they may have the opportunity. As I've said many, many times, President Becker came from South Carolina. He's a Penn State alum. He understands the importance of athletics. It wasn't that he was, super on fire athletic guy. He just understood it. He understood the importance of it and understood, its landscape, within it. I think it is interesting, and it has been a conversation certainly on the boards of, hey, let's get them to increase the budget, or let's focus on this. At the same point, athletics is such a tiny, tiny fraction of the university. It's certainly, the biggest PR agent. But I think from a university point of view, there are a lot bigger fish to fry. You just kind of have to see, hey, what is the level of importance and focus, and that's the important part. But I think it was literally like 2.6% of the last year's physical budget was the athletics budget. So can't imagine that's a tremendous amount of their time, whoever that next president is.
Well, it should be.
If David Brown has anything to say about it, doggone it. Yeah,
exactly.
It's really hard to imagine like anything an incoming president could put their name on at this point. With Mark Becker has so many projects like currently underway. It's like, what are you going to get started under your name?
Right.
Women's lacrosse.
Oh boy.
That's all right, Ben, I know you only had a few minutes with us here, and we were almost exhausted that, but there's one bit of news that's kind of like, I guess, we're expecting to hear about in a little while, but Coach Chris Collins, looks like he may be leaving football here at Georgia State and moving on to Kentucky.
I think we're going to find out tomorrow, right?
Because he really likes the colors blue and white, and that's the only place he wants to coach. How big of a hit's that going to be to us at this point in the time in the offseason? Is it what's the impact going to be on the football program, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough timing, and it's a great opportunity for Chris, and being a recruiting coordinator and safeties coach. It's one of those situations too. Kentucky's trying to get back in, obviously, the mix there in the SEC. Both in the divisional and the overall play, and it's probably been about 10 or 15 years, but it's one of those situations where they're looking to really, really hammer the Metro Atlanta area, and certainly believe Chris Collins can do that. He was the primary in Gwinnett County. Has certainly, I know I saw one article from 24/7 7 that said that he was tied basically to 22 recruits, either as primary or secondary recruiter. And has done a good job. Reached and developed guys and coached guys up. I mean, the word has gotten out certainly about his ability. Something of interest as well. I've found out recently. I mean, his wife, the couple certainly just gave birth to their youngin, but she actually works for the university as well. So it would be a loss for GSU and GSU athletics. So to lose both of those individuals. So what I've tried to tell folks too. Ultimately, SEC money is totally different. He quite literally could double his salary, even from a position coach. I mean, just to kind of give you an idea as well. Former offensive coordinator Travis Strickett went back to his alma mater at West Virginia and increased his salary significantly by going from offensive coordinator here in the Sun Belt to tight ends coach. So that P5 money is totally different, and it's life-changing money in some cases where hey, you may have a new mom who may not have to work outside the home as much or things like that. So there is a little bit different there, and almost every coach that I've talked to wants to coach at the highest level. So good luck to him, and I know Coach Elliott, if he has made that move or is about to make that move, I know Coach Elliott will be ready to get a replacement pretty quick, as we've seen. And there has been turnover certainly in Coach Elliott's tenure here in Atlanta.
Yeah, we know our lot in our life. I mean, G5s, that's what we are. We're the picking grounds for the P5 program, specifically SEC. And it is kind of amusing, though, that you'd have a school come to Georgia State to pick up a guy to recruit Atlanta when it seems like we have so few Atlanta kids that come to our
That's
program.
What I was going to say. It sounds kind of weird. We complain constantly about how Atlanta's not recruited enough.
It is. Yeah, it is interesting, and I think the biggest thing is the access point. He knows the individuals to talk to, he knows the coaches to talk to, and like we talk about all the time. I mean, the Sun Belt is not the SEC. Being able to walk in there, with the University of Kentucky, on your shirt and say that and be able to brag about that, a little bit different. And that's you're going to get different access level to some kids who want to play in front of that atmosphere against an Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, things like that too. That matters to kids. They want to see the SEC and have the opportunity to do it. So, again, if that is the lot in life, and that's what he chooses to do. I wish him well. Certainly enjoyed the time that I got a chance to talk to him and get to know him and his family. But it's one of those scenarios as well. Quite honestly, as a G5 school, you want your assistants to get picked apart. That means you're doing things well. It's the same thing what's going to happen. And I've said it multiple times, on PT and other places. If Sean Elliott continues to win, he's going to get his phone call. He's going to get his phone call from the schools and go from there. That's part of it. That's part of the lot in life. Even though he signed the extension last October, there's going to be people who throw money at him that may double his salary. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly would be listening my own self if someone wanted to come throw it, double my salary at me. So.
Absolutely. I got one last question for you. I'll let you go unless Ryan or Tim got anything. But just on Coach Collins, do you think there's any potential recruits that were in jeopardy of losing if he does jump ship and go to Kentucky?
Not that I know of at this point. The biggest thing is that, the dead period just ended last night, and certainly the open period is now. I would be, with Coach Elliott's camps coming up. I mean, the one thing that Coach Elliott has been over the last, I would say, 2 recruiting cycles has been very, very diligent in terms of, all right, identifying their board, kind of firing off of those guys, and that's it. And that's really it, where they haven't had a chance, they haven't really had to reach for guys late. And I think now, when you have this, they knew that they had an opportunity for so many seniors to come back. They could really, really be patient. And you could have a situation again next year where you're talking to kids who are rising, juniors who get that extra year eligibility back, identifying which of those guys are coming back too, and seeing, hey, am I going to have depth here? If I'm going to have issues here, and then go the transfer portal route too. So there's still some guys, what's crazy is, again, put a note out last week, and any of our VIPs may have saw it. I mean, there's a graduate transfer from the University of Tennessee that from what I've been told, basically, we're still engaged with, right now, who plays defensive back, who could be on the roster as of next week.
Was he on the team when we beat them?
He was, and he plays significantly for Tennessee. So he's really and a good player. So just one of those situations. And from what I've been told, his girlfriend is in graduate school at Georgia State. So
okay, that definitely changes things. Hopefully, if he does come here, there's some friendly jabbing from Coach Ellington about his performance.
No doubt about it. We can replay the end zone run where he have had multiple people slam into each other. No doubt.
Exactly. All right, Tim Ryan. He's Ben is I don't want to say overstayed his welcome, but he's overstayed longer than he wants to be here. So you guys have any more questions for him before we leave?
No, I'm good.
Ben, any other juicy teasers before you leave?
No, man, that's it for now. I will say this, and you guys have seen it on the boards quite a bit. I'm expecting a basketball signing any minute now. I'm waiting for him to commit. That will complete the 2021-22 roster. For whatever reason, he's being very quiet about it. But for folks that have been on the site, they know who I'm talking about. He is a local product, so that means basically all 4 of the signees will have played in the state of Georgia in the last year or so, and he's a talented kid. Nicknamed Turtle. I will give you that. There's a teaser for you.
We knew you could squirt out another juicy tease.
I was just for you, right? I was trying to work that in. I don't know.
Well, thanks again, Ben, for being here, man. You always welcome to have a spot on the show whenever you want to come back frequently and often. So thanks a lot, man.
Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to you soon. See you.
See you, man.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, did you?
I went to go tap Ben out, and he just killed his phone. So it already moved out, and my finger's already going down and kicked Tim out of the show there.
At least you didn't like super boot him or nothing. Like you didn't have to reconnect.
But yeah. Ben's always a good conversation. You know, when I originally wanted to do this podcast, I wanted to do it with him. But I think if we would have done that, it would have been way longer than an hour each week. And I'm not sure how much of it would be me talking.
Yeah, I was about to say good conversation, but it's mostly just you finding 5 words to ask a question and then him going for a while.
Can I get it in there? What?
It might have been a 2-hour podcast.
Too much information. I mean, it's good. It's good. We should do this every now and again.
He'll give us a great little nugget of information. So I have like that question on deck that I want to follow up to that one. And then he moves on to another topic. And I got a question for that. And then by the time he's finished, I'm just like, I forget what you even said, dude.
David, might you say that he squirts out nuggets?
He squirts them out left and right.
I'll never let him live it down. And yes, I did giggle about that because it was hilarious. And I sat there and I looked at everybody's faces, and Tim was laughing at the exact same thing and was just like looking around like, did I just hear that?
Nothing like grown men finding a word like squirt to be funny. So
I still like you said doo-doo when people say doo-doo.
Oh yeah. For sure.
I was kind of hoping you'd drop the TBT player's name. I don't know.
Yeah, Ben's really good to talk to offline, because then a lot of those teasers become actual little factoids, and he squirts a factoid into your ear. So if you ever get a chance to pregame with if you still get the chance to pregame with Ben before a football or basketball game, it's always some fun information to be learned about the history of Georgia State and what's going on right now. But yeah, so we had a little bit of football news that came out this past week. Changing subjects, we got some game times. The first 3 games of the season, football games of the season, we got our kickoff times for. And I don't know. Can you hear my dog whining right now? Because it's very annoying to me. So yeah.
Does it want to get to you?
No, it just wants to annoy me completely. So it's doing a successful job at it. Anyhow, we had the first 3 games. Army we got, and I selfishly wanted this to be an early kickoff because I want to get back to Dragon Con. And sure enough, we got a noon kick. Something actually went well in my life for once.
I thought it was. Is that not a Thursday game? No, did I just make that up? It's a Saturday game?
Saturday game at noon. And I would actually prefer it to get moved to a Thursday night, but that's not been the case so far. So
right on.
What do you guys think about that? Do you think we should? I mean, it's on ESPNU, so I mean, I'm assuming that a TV dictated this game. If it was an ESPN Plus game, there's really no excuse for us not to be on a night game, or at least a later game.
That's a dog.
Yeah, no, I mean, what are our normal start game? Is that what, like 2? Start times at like 2 or something? That's
we had
like
a lot of them at 2, yeah.
2 or 3, yeah. So I'm okay with the noon kickoff game. It just limits the tailgating, which kind of sucks. But I understand people's want to get back to other things on Labor Day weekend.
It's a busy day in Atlanta for sure. There's so many things going on. I don't know how much it really matters what time the game is. So if national TV is going to pick us up, then we go with that, right?
I do it. Yeah, I'm happy with whatever if we're on ESPNU. It's cool.
Yeah, noon game, national TV. Why wouldn't you take it? It's easy.
Yeah.
That's
so if they want to move us to midnight, we'll go there.
That's right. Yeah, if ESPN1 wants to put us on at midnight, let's do it.
Man, really?
Yeah, let's do it.
I actually could enliven the student fan base. I don't know.
Everybody rolls in from the bars after they've been partying and comes to the game. Oh, that'd be a disaster.
So you do it at 2 a.m. So after last call, and then you show up to Georgia State.
Just at the Panther Express, swing around through Midtown and all the different bar areas. Everybody dropping them off there. People stumbling in, drunk as can be.
When I was going out till 2 a.m., I would have gotten on that bus for sure, even if I didn't care about Georgia State.
Right. Yeah, just something else to do to keep it going, right?
I'll be like, do they have pizza there?
Yeah, it'll be Panther dining pizza. I don't know. I'd have to be really, really, really drunk to eat that. We had that at the watch party. It was some of the worst pizza I've ever had. But
at 2 a.m., it'll be fine.
Yeah. So then we go up to Charlotte for North Carolina, 7:30 on ESPN3, which is effectively. I thought they got rid of ESPN3 to have the ESPN Plus thing.
7:30 is a very late kick for a non-televised game on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I think that UNC is maybe away or at a neutral site that very first week. So maybe this is their home opener, so they're wanting to kind of get a good party going on or something. I don't know.
Still pretty late. That's crazy.
It is late and kills any chance of making that a day trip, of leaving early in the morning. And
that's true. You're staying overnight at that point.
Yeah. There's no way I'm making that trip back. But
you probably were going to do that anyway, though. Like that. That would be you'd be asking for too much to have it like a midday or whatever, and then like drive home. That sounds miserable.
Yeah, Charlotte's not. Or I said Charlotte. Why did I say Charlotte? Why did you guys let me say Charlotte? It's Chapel Hill.
Because I don't know where they are.
Hill, we knew what you're talking about.
Chapel Hill. Yeah. Charlotte's actually a lot closer. It's only like a 4-hour drive versus like what, a 6.5 or something for Chapel Hill. So
yeah, when I used to go to Durham, which is right next to Chapel Hill, I flew in because it's too far to drive.
Yeah, 6 hours is my breaking point on flight versus drive. Yeah. So yeah, I guess the UNC the night game is kind of cool for us at least being able to get up there. I guess we could drive up that morning versus staying Friday night there, and then you have some tailgate or bar time before going there. That's really the only advantage to that late of a time on a streaming service versus real TV, right?
Yeah. Are we? Do we have any plans for watch parties for that kind of thing? I mean, since we have kickoff time, we can figure it out.
I'm going to be inside of Tar Heel Stadium, or whatever the hell they call that thing, and watching the game from there. That's my plan.
It's a live watch party at the stadium.
Exactly.
I'm going to be watching it from the homeland.
Not going to be able to make it up there?
No.
You've been grounded
for that.
Okay. Have fun.
Nah.
Then, all right, next week you tell us on the watch party plan. You get it all ramped up for us.
With a GoFundMe.
I gotta do what?
You're planning a watch party now.
Well, I'll just piss everybody off. I'll do it at Halfway Crooks, and nobody will show up because they don't have any liquor.
There you go. Good enough.
I'll be like, I think we're just gonna go to the official watch party at 6 Feet Under because I like it there. Fine.
There you go. Get some fried shrimp or something.
That's right. Shrimp basket.
Speaking of Charlotte, that's our third game at home, and that's a 7 p.m. game on ESPN Plus. But it's 7 p.m. at home. I love 7 p.m. at home. That's fantastic.
Hey, are you sure that's in Charlotte? No, it's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta versus Charlotte. Yes.
I've been drinking, guys.
We all have been.
It's on ESPN Plus.
It's on ESPN Plus versus different than 3, but whatever. I don't care if it's a home game. I'm going to be watching it from inside. So I mean that's perfect. That's what we want. We want a 7:00 game in September when it's hot out, so it'll be a little bit cooler for the game. We get an entire day of tailgating. It should be awesome.
That's the most important part right there. All day tailgating.
Exactly. The most important part about a college football game is tailgating, and then it's winning the game. That's how I look at it. Because I guarantee you I can make tailgating fun. I cannot guarantee you that a Georgia State team is going to win a football game. So
we can win that one.
Yeah. I was bummed, though, about Auburn. We don't know that one yet. The Auburn game, the fourth week, the final out-of-conference game.
Do we just sort of not know because they're withholding maybe for a TV?
Well, I asked Ben about whether we would know that, and he says that's already moving into that whole we'll know 10 to 14 days before kickoff so they can figure out where their time slots are going to be and everything. So as early as noon, as late as 7 or 8. So.
SEC does the whole bidding thing where like CBS gets first pick for their time slots, and then whoever the secondary is gets the next pick for all their time slots, and they all figure it out as early as or as close to it as possible, so they can get the best game possible.
Yeah. So after we're 3-0, having upset UNC dramatically, they're going to want to put that as a night game and feature Georgia State Panthers taking on their next SEC opponent that they upset.
I think CBS, the 3 p.m. is their prime slot. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that's what they consider like the best game. Yeah.
That is the primo slot for the SEC. Yeah.
Okay. Well, man,
that's some pretty good games. I was looking at the schedule for SEC. I mean, you got Florida and Tennessee that same weekend. Georgia, Vandy.
Those both sound like
Mississippi
games.
State. So I was kind of hoping for like a lot of no SEC games to see where we could potentially get a better slot.
It's week 4 in the season. I don't think SEC is going to have a bye week that early in the season. So
I was hoping to see some out of conference. Actually.
Gotcha. We'll see. Yeah. And I don't know if this was announced previously or not, but I've noticed this while looking at the times. When we have that Thursday game later in the season against Lafayette, that's actually an ESPN proper game out there in whatever this swamp that Lafayette's located in.
Northwest Swamp, right? Or is it?
I think Lafayette's the one that's out west, like the west side of the state. I think.
Which game is ESPN proper?
Lafayette, Georgia State at Lafayette.
We're playing that on like ESPN Prime.
Yeah, on Thursday night.
On Thursday night.
Oh, still that's pretty good. Cool.
Yeah. So
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll play anytime on national TV. I feel like that should take precedence. That gets a lot more eyeballs, period. Play some Georgia State commercials that no one watches, and No,
I can't agree with you more. It's like just having the eyeballs seeing Georgia State, just knowing it. Because I'll watch any game that's on those weekday nights. It's a football game. It's better than not watching football.
And it's the only one on. There's only one ever, on every Thursday.
I'm caught up on Netflix. I can just watch whatever. I can watch football now, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Ben sent me something else today. I don't know if Ben's all over this episode tonight, but I guess some of the first betting odds are out about the Sun Belt, about the chance to win the championship, the Sun Belt championship football game.
What are we?
We're 18-1. It's not going to be it's kind of a stretch. But the interesting thing is we have the 4th best odds in conference to win the championship.
Yeah. All right.
Coastal
18-1. That sounds fun. I could throw some money at that.
I'd put $100 down for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
$100 to win 1,800. Coastal and Lafayette are tied at 3-2, and App State at 4-1 odds. So they're obviously by far the 3 of them are the heavy favored to win it all. But then it's Georgia State and everybody else.
All right.
Way below us, right?
Way below us. Well, one of the things I like about it is, Vegas knows their stuff. They're right way more often than they're wrong. So by putting us that high up in the list, I like it a lot. Makes me justifies kind of my feeling about going into the season where we know that potential is really there to be a dominant player in the conference this year.
They're paid well to get it right. So they have a lot of incentives to get it exactly right, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
That's how they make the most money is to do the exact right prediction.
Yeah. So Ryan, you said you put money on. Tim, is 18-1 odds? Would you put some money down on that?
Sure, why not? I mean, I think we have a pretty good shot this season to actually win the championship. So why not? I mean, we had a revenge tour this year with Lafayette in that Thursday night game. Payback with Coastal. I mean, there's a lot of juicy stuff on the schedule.
And getting that first win against App State. Juicy things.
Ooh. Juicy
squirtiness all over that
juicy
schedule.
And squirting, man. This is a made for children show, right? Yeah.
That's the title. Juicy nuggets squirting all over your face. What?
Juicy nuggets squirting all over. Well, that sounds like we're ramping right up for a last call type conversation.
Well, we're way early for that, though. We're going to keep going, right?
We're 40 minutes in. I think that's pretty good.
All right, whatever.
You're
the host.
You guys got some more you want to talk about? Let's do it. Yeah. What else you got? I got one more thing. We can maybe do for last call or something. What do you want to do?
Well, knowing nothing at all about the president search, the one little nugget that I latched onto was there was an internal candidate, and I can only imagine Barath, right? I mean, is that what we're all thinking?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You think so?
I don't know. I don't know how any of this works.
Well, we're getting a head shake from Tim, so I would tend to.
You never know.
Never know.
See, you never know.
Hey, come on, we could be breaking news here, Tim. You got something for us?
If you know, you shouldn't say. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I am completely talking out of my ass.
I can't squirt anything out right now.
Huh?
I can't squirt anything out right now.
God.
That sounds like a personal problem, dude.
Yeah, that sounded.
We're talking about the president of the university and talking about what you got going on in the bathroom.
It was like less enticing use of the word squirt.
Yeah.
Well, so is Barath, is he university or is he?
He's university.
Athletic. Okay, I thought he was.
He's like the general counsel for the university, isn't he? Like So I don't know if that's even something you get promoted for, but he's the person who I know of who could do it and would be, somebody I like as a person.
When I said
I would assume athletics.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. Well, he's definitely passionate about athletics. When I said I assume no, that's because I thought that he was representative of athletics, not that he was university employed.
Nope.
Like representation or whatever. So yeah, I guess they. Who knows? I would assume there's probably an assistant to Becker that's been working with him for a long time that maybe consider for that role. I know nothing about that kind of stuff whatsoever at all.
That's what I don't even know if lawyers go do that kind of thing, or if it's somebody who's been in education, or I have no idea Mark Becker's background. I'm just making stuff up.
Wasn't like Patton? Wasn't he like a city planner or something like that before he came to Georgia State?
I mean, it makes sense. I think a lot of these things are like political appointments too. The whole chancellor drama was a big political thing because they were going to try to appoint Sonny Perdue, and everybody's like, but he has no experience whatsoever with this stuff, and everybody's like, well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we should talk about this.
That was like when they wanted to make Condoleezza Rice the commissioner of NCAA football.
Whoa, but she was on the college football playoff committee. She might still be.
Well, this was before they even had the college football playoff. Yeah.
She apparently is tied into it somehow or another because she, like I said, she was on the playoff selection committee. If she's not still on it, I think she might still be on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got no idea. But
I wish she was on it. I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know if she's still on it, but
or like what her qualifications for that were. If she was just like one of the most famous people who raised their hand and said they wanted to, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, we'll get some news out of that."
And then and they got news out of it, and now we have no idea whether it happened or not.
Well, we know it happened. She definitely was on it. I don't know if she still is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. That's all. I wanted to go back to that and on a less time crunch, just discuss it between us since we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
No, but I will be very much like doing my my internet stalking on whoever becomes the next president to see if there's any kind of indication about where they may fall in the athletics side of things. Because even though Ben talks about athletics being 2.6% of Georgia State budget, the potential there is for so much more with the university, and we don't want a president that's not going to be full steam ahead. Like Becker was great with acquiring Turner Field and getting the Convocation Center built and bringing things in. He will likely deserve a statue right next to Hank Aaron out there on the bricks at some point for the university.
Yeah, I'd love someone that comes in that fully supports athletics. Picks up right where things left off, wherever they leave off. I mean, it seems like, the current rule is being extended-ish, I guess, longer than, what anyone wanted, but you don't want the wrong hire. I mean, just like with Cobb, you don't want the wrong hire in control. Even though
are you saying that Cobb was the wrong hire?
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm trying to bait you into something.
He's doing all of these things single-handedly, David.
Yes.
All
right, well, I got a couple of things I'll talk about last call. I mean, we've done 45 minutes here. I think
cool.
40, 45 minutes seems to be a sweet spot. We can move on. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. There's an opportunity here in Atlanta to see 3 football games in one day, which is a pretty cool little thing. Ryan, I want to talk to you about this bill to get potentially college football players hired by the schools and unionize. I'm sure you have opinions on that. And yeah, and we'll talk about other crap. So
cool. Other crap's
Noah's favorite topic.
Oh, I didn't post this up there. I'm going to do it while Ben was on. But our free ship code this week at merch.stateofatlanta.com is tournament for free shipping on everything on the site for this entire week. Thanks, everybody, for listening for that part. And yeah, please consider joining our Patreon. It's $3 a month. You get early access to our last call. You also get to join our private group chat where we talk about things on the episode or things we can't talk about on the episode. And then you get discounts on our merch as well there. Gonna head over and do that. You can find it on patreon.com/stateofatlanta. Thanks, everybody, for listening this week.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.